night he did not return home, his mother's heart broke. Nobody saw him again. People whispered, it was that boss. The one with the driver who never smiles. In the old days, when buses were the main way people traveled from town to town in West Africa, there was a man called Driver Ton. He was not like other drivers. Other drivers laughed with passengers, argued about fare, or played music in their buses. But Ton was quiet. He rarely spoke, and when he did, his voice was heavy, like a stone. Many people did not trust him. His eyes were always red, like someone who never slept. His bus was always clean on the outside but dark inside. When people entered, the smell was strange, like medicine mixed with something rotten. Some avoided his bus, but others, rushing to get home, would enter without thinking. At first, nobody knew what he was doing. They only noticed that people were disappearing. A girl going to the market never came back. A man visiting his brother never reached the house. Mothers cried, fathers searched, but the police always said, maybe they traveled and did not tell you. But the truth was darker. Ton was once a normal driver. But one year, after his business failed, he fell into the hands of wicked men. These men promised him money if he could bring people to them, living people. They told him what to do: pick passengers, drive them to the bush instead of their destination. Deliver them at night. At first, he refused. But hunger, death, and greed pushed him. The first time, he carried only 2 passengers. A young boy and his mother. He drove them into a lonely road and stopped. The mother shouted, "This is not the way." But he locked the doors. He delivered them to the men, who gave him a fat envelope of money. That night, Ton could not sleep. He heard the cries of the woman in his dreams. But by morning, the money cooled his heart. He told himself, one more time. But it never stopped. The passengers. Every week, more people vanished. And because Ton changed his routes, nobody noticed the pattern quickly. Sometimes he worked in Lagos, other times in Ibadan, Benin, or small villages. He never stayed too long in one place. He became careful. He picked passengers who traveled alone, strangers without family nearby. He smiled politely, but his smile never reached his eyes. One day, a young girl named Ngozi entered his bus. She was traveling to school. She waved at her friends, excited, carrying her small bag. That was the last time her friends saw her. Her parents searched, walking from police station to radio station, but no answer came. Another time, a farmer named Musa entered. With money from selling his harvest. His wife and children waited for him at night with food on the fire. He never returned. The soup went cold. His wife cried until morning. Neighbors gathered, but nobody knew what happened. The evil driver kept taking. Fear grows. Soon, whispers spread. People said there was a bus where nobody returned. Some said the driver was a spirit. Others said he was a servant of wicked men. Mothers began to warn their children, never enter a strange bus. Look at the driver's face before you enter. If his eyes are red, walk away. But many still entered, out of hurry or lack of choice. The disappearances became too many. Villages grew restless. Some believed it was punishment from God. Others blamed witches. But a few began to suspect drivers, especially the one with the cold face. The day he was caught, one hot afternoon, Ton picked up passengers again. Among them was a young man named Chike, who was traveling to visit his uncle. Chike was clever and alert. From the start, he noticed something strange. The road the driver took was not the normal one. "Driver, this is not the way," Chike said. Ton did not answer. He just pressed the accelerator. Fear grew in the bus. Another passenger, an old woman, began to pray loudly. Chike quickly pulled out his phone and tried to call his uncle, but there was no signal in that area. He knew something was wrong. The bus entered a lonely road, thick with trees. Suddenly, Ton stopped the bus. He stepped out and made a signal. From the bush, 2 men appeared. They were holding sticks. That was when Chike acted fast. He shouted at the passengers, "Run." He pushed the door open before Ton could lock it. Panic filled the bus. The old woman, 2 traders, and Chak jumped out and ran into the bush. The men chased, but Chak was fast. He reached the main road and waved for help. A motorcyclist stopped, and Chak shouted, "That driver. He is not real, he is taking people." The alarm spread. Villagers gathered with cutlasses, sticks, and stones. They blocked the road. When Ton tried to escape, they caught him. When they searched his bus, they found ropes, cloths for gagging mouths, and charms. They also found blood stains hidden under the seats. The villagers beat him, but elders said, "Do not kill him yet. Let the truth be known." They handed him to the police. Under pressure, Ton confessed everything: how he had been kidnapping for years, how he sold people to wicked men, how the money kept him going. The news shook the land. Families cried, remembering their missing loved ones. Mothers wailed in the police station, asking, "Where is my son? Where is my daughter?" But many could not get answers. The story of the evil bus driver spread across towns and villages. People became more careful. They checked buses before entering. They asked questions. They learned to trust their instincts when something felt wrong. Parents told their children the story again and again: "Do not enter a bus that looks strange. Do not follow a driver who changes the road. Evil hides in quiet faces." And even today, old people say, evil walks quietly, but truth will always catch it. The driver thought nobody saw him. But one day, one boy refused to keep quiet. That was the end of his road. Moral of the story: evil grows when people stay silent. But courage, even from one person, can save many lives.